But Blake, I think the biggest news, and I guess technically it's the MMA community, or are we just referring to him as retired MMA fighter, current rapper, Tyron Woodley, because he is going to be the next opponent for Jake Paul. This is going down August 28th, and we actually have Tyron Woodley opening up as a close underdog. So, do you have any thoughts about this one? I mean, this has to go better than Ben Askren, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's actually a fight this time. Like, he's gonna actually try and hurt Jake Paul, but it's still just kind of, I don't know, man. There's a lot of unknowns. I think we're
Mhm.
still in the midst of finding out. Like, boxing is its own sport, and MMA is, you know, kind of a different beast. And when you don't have the time and focus to put all of your energy into just that one aspect of fighting,
Mhm.
some YouTuber might turn out to be a little bit better than you, and that's what I'm scared to find out is if Jake Paul can somehow manage to get this done, we're not going to hear the end of it. That ego is going to just freaking explode.
It's going to be so bad, but the hard part about this is obviously Tyron Woodley has a lot better of a chance in this fight over Ben Askren. Ben Askren, I think, was older, maybe had some more surgeries, but then
Mm.
also he was a grappler and he was a wrestler. He was not a guy that will throw strikes in the UFC, and then he might be a little bit of a shell of himself. But remember, Tyron Woodley is the guy that put out Robbie Lawler, that was welterweight champion in the world, that has one hell of a right hand. And he's been loading that thing up for 16 rounds. And so there's a lot that has to be charged by now, right? He has to have some power behind the hand. If he lands, yeah, Jake Paul's probably going to go out. But it's just tough because his last 16 rounds obviously had not been the best work of his career, have they?
No, I mean, yeah, the recent matches have not given the MMA community, I think, a lot of confidence. But you never know. I mean, like you said, he's definitely way more athletic, way more quick twitch
Mm-hmm.
than Ben Askren or, well, I mean, maybe not Nate Robinson, but at least he's not 5 foot, what, seven,
At
five foot
least he's an actual
six.
fighter and not a basketball player.
Yeah. So it's just gonna depend, man. Like, Tyron's gonna have to go in there with a game plan. He's got a little bit of film on Paul, not a whole lot. So that's what kind of sucks too. Is like Tyron Woodley is kind of a known commodity, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's probably hours worth of tape out, like, from actual fights that he's been in. Whereas Jake Paul, I think all of his fights combined, probably under 30 minutes. I don't remember his first. Actually, I think all of his fights have ended by knockout, huh? So probably under
Mm-hmm.
10 minutes. So there's not a lot to work with there, and not to mention he's going to keep progressing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of unknowns when it comes to Jake Paul, and I just hope the money's worth it, and I hope he gets the job done because, you just go over to Ben Askren's comment section on Instagram, and you'll see how bad he's getting lit up every day.
Oh, it's really awful. I'm more than happy if Tyron Woodley somehow gets the knockout in this one. I'll be more than happy to erase the past 16 rounds of his career and even his rap career from my mind and just celebrate him as an amazing fighter and man that he is. And I think my biggest concern here is that I still believe that the Askren fight was rigged, that Askren took a fall, that he took a dive. Um, and I think my biggest fear is that happening again with Tyron Woodley. But that's boxing for you, and that's why it's a dying sport.